Hi. Sorry, I'm just finishing up a manager's meeting there. Welcome, everybody. Well, I'll acknowledge some more shout outs from our viewers across the virtual world here. Let's have a look and see what we've got. Got Reggie in Saskatchewan. Hi, how are you? Got Paul, Phil, and Graham from a cold, snowy UK. I heard it was snowing there. Welcome. Warren from Coldstream. Hi there. I see Anne from Atlanta. How's it going? Joni from Connecticut. Howdy. Hank and his family from Thornbury, Ontario. Right on. Well, welcome back, you guys. It's so great to see you. So it's another fun adventure with CMH Virtual Heli Huddles, where we explore all the aspects surrounding the sensational sports of heli-skiing and also our summer adventures program. So this is the most hiking stoic you can have while you're online with us today. So I'd like to take a moment and introduce my co-host, Allie. So Allie is our employee experience manager and takes the lead on recruiting and hiring here at CMH. She's been with us for 7 years now, and fun fact, Allie also does Grand Fondos, which are really big bike rides. Hi, Allie.
Hey, Brody. Thanks for that. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce Brody. He began his career as a hiking guide, and so it's fitting that he is the assistant area manager at our Bugaboo Lodge, one of the 3 CMH areas where we run our summer adventures program. Fun fact, Brody is also a golfer.
And we might even play some winter golf this year if I've got time. Well, on set with us today, we've got 2 new panelists. I'd like to welcome Eric. Eric is a 33-year guide at CMH. He was the manager of our Adamance operation for 15 years and now oversees all of our guiding operations at the company. I'd also like to welcome Rocco, a 31-year guide at CMH in both summer and winter and oversees our powder performance programs at the company. Welcome, gentlemen. Well, strange. Look at this. We're all wearing the same thing again. Canadian tuxedos. Feeling a little fancy, are we, gang?
Also joining us today is Mercedes. Mercedes has been part of our guest services team since 2018 and supports our guests through the pre- and post-trip experience. Fun fact about Mercedes, she's an incredible swimmer and went to the Canadian Olympic trials for the 800-meter freestyle. Welcome, Mercedes. We won't try to keep up with you. Graham and Phil will be joining us off camera to support the online Q&A. They'll be answering your questions as they come in, so don't be shy to keep them busy. Common questions throughout the huddle will be addressed during the Q&A at the end of the event. And like other episodes, we will be asking you a skill testing question based on information in today's huddle. So from our friends at Arc'teryx, we will be giving away an Adam LT jacket, which is the most worn jacket amongst our staff. Why, you ask? Because it's warm and durable, great for layering, and easy to care for. So keep your eyes and ears peeled because one of you will be the winner.
Awesome. That looks great. Well, today's huddle theme is on our summer adventures program at CMH. And this is the first of 3 summer episodes we're going to have throughout the winter. And today we're going to focus on our 3 destinations and heli-hiking. The other 2 episodes, we're going to focus on family travel and specialty trips. And lastly, our Via Ferratas. So I'd like to start today's discussion by highlighting our summer destinations with this hot little video. Hit it. Oh, that's awesome. That gives me summer goosebumps. Well, let's start talking about our Bobby Burns Lodge. The Bobby Burns is nestled deep in the Purcell mountain range, named after the creek and drainage just to the north, and subsequently named after the famous Scottish poet, you guessed it, Robert Burns. This newly renovated facility hosts you at our highest level of mountain lodge comfort. The Bobby Burns is home to our world-renowned Via Ferrata adventures that take you to spirit-soaring heights. With eye-widening ridge walks high above deep river basins and beautiful sun-kissed meadows, you guessed it, the Bobby Burns is the ultimate wilderness playground.
Great. And up next is the Bugaboos. The Bugaboos is where the magic first began as the birthplace of CMH. Originally explored by legends like Austrian mountaineer Conrad Kane, the Bugaboos are world-renowned for mountaineering, climbing, hiking, and skiing. You can see some of the granite spires and glacial lakes in these photos. The bottom left-hand photo is one that I took during a trip to the Bugaboos, and I can say with confidence that it is the most incredible place I have ever stopped for lunch.
So cool. And last but certainly not least, it's the magic and wonder of the Caribous. And the Caribous leads you towards the gateway of our northern landscapes, known as the land of the great glaciers. The Caribous represents true wilderness, which is a distinct nature of the mountains of Western Canada. And deep in the Canoe River Valley sets one of our very first original 3 lodges, the Caribous. With stunning views of the Premier Range, and on a clear day from the ridgetops, you can even see the Canadian Rockies' highest peak, Mount Robson. Okay, well, I'd like to bring Eric and Rocco back on the screen. And Eric, why don't you tell us about the first time you met Rocco in Canada? Because all of us at work at CMH know the story, but our viewers might not know it.
Well, I sure can. Well, glad you guys all joined us. As you know, I was here a few years before Rocco, and the year that Rocco came, we built the Adamant Lodge. So I was at the construction site, and was that year I also got to know our founder Hans Moser really well, because he came to the building site quite often. So in the fall, when he asked me to go and pick up these 2 new Austrian guides, Rocco and Tom Raudaschel, of course I said yes. I was honored to do this, and I drove into Calgary. The airport was quite a bit different. There was not as much security. There was only basically one window, a glass. And I think there was only one luggage conveyor. Maybe there was 2. But I still remember the guys came off the plane, and I looked, and right away I picked one out. There was Tom with a nice fleece jacket with a big guide's badge on it. So I said, yeah, there is one. So that must be one. And then I look, and and I see this other guy. When they came out with the luggage cart next to Tom. So it was the same jacket, Rocco, big cowboy hat, cowboy boots. So Rocco was ready to move into the West. So now it's 31 years later. We are great colleagues and still best friends. So it's great to see you here, Rocco, with the same jacket. And that's the story of how we met.
Well, that's such a great story, Eric. Thanks for sharing. And Rocco, I hope that you still wear that outfit whenever you go to Calgary.
Yeah, I didn't find Oregon. I didn't came through the Oregon Trail. I took the CMH Trail.
Perfect. Well, now let's bring Mercedes back on the screen so she can guide us through some common questions about CMH summer adventures. So Mercedes, over to you.
Thanks so much, Ali, and great to see you, Eric and Rocco. Now that we've seen a glimpse of these beautiful places, can you tell us a bit more about what heli-hiking is and why helicopters are used?
Yeah, so in the summer of '89, I also was exposed the first time to heli-hiking. And honestly, at the beginning, I didn't understand why one would need a helicopter for hiking. But only after one day of guiding in the Bugaboos that summer, I totally changed my mind. Those mountains are wilderness poor with no trails, so the helicopter really is a perfect tool to place you in exactly the right place on the mountain, so every guest gets the perfect experience. Match with the individual hiking or climbing ability, fitness level, or personal interest. So we have lots of options by using the helicopter.
So cool, Eric. Rocco, can you tell me what the lodges are like? And let's be honest here, are we really roughing it out there?
Thank you, Miss Mercedes. we are roughing it, but in a very luxurious way. Like our lodges are beautiful rustic mountain hotels with amenities like hot tubs, saunas, steam rooms if you didn't sweat enough during the day, and outside ponds where you can cool off after that. And any or all of these are a crowning finish to a beautiful, perfect day on the mountain. And then there is the food and the seemingly endless breakfast buffet. And like you get fed so many times and so good, and then you have a beautiful lunch out on the mountain in the great environment. And when you come back from hiking, you have the après, chicken wings, good stuff. And then there is the exceptional dinners. And our chefs and bistro chefs, they are truly culinary masters. And, our French and Spanish guests, they can't stop raving about it. And that is the biggest compliment. And to our lodges, they seem to be in the middle of nowhere, but they truly are in the epicenter of magically incredible mountain playgrounds. It's an awe-inspiring experience taking in the beauty and power of these spectacular places. The possibility for adventure is absolutely endless, and each of our lodges has the individual personality and activities of their own.
Well, that definitely sounds like my kind of backcountry experience, Rocco. And I would definitely be interested in knowing a bit more about those lodge personalities. Eric, can you fill us in?
Yeah, sure. The Bugaboos is where everything started for CMH. It has amazing vistas around the spires. The view from the lodge itself is hard to beat. The CMH museum in the lodge is something else. Every time I go there after all those years, I still find new and interesting facts. So it's full of history. And the Bobby Burns has now a newly renovated lodge. It's the home of our first Via Ferradas, along with lots of amazing hiking terrain. My favorite there is the Valley of the Lakes.
And then the Caribous, as Brody mentioned, it's our northernmost destination, and it's truly a gigantic world of monumental glaciers and ice forests. If it itches you to witness one of this nature's rarest wonders yourself, like this is the Valhalla of ice and snow. And I would suggest that you join us soon, as long as it still fully exists.
Yeah, any one of our summer destinations is really a great place to be. There's no crowds, no trails, endless scenery. Now let me show you a little more about the heli-hiking, what it looks like during the summer. Can you roll the clip?
Well, that looks awesome, and I definitely can't wait to get back out there. Eric, can you tell us a little more about what happens when you first get to the lodge, and how fit do I need to be to join one of these adventures?
Sure, Mercedes. When you first arrive at the lodge, your pilot will take you through some helicopter safety. Then you get out for a short hike. And after that first afternoon hike, we fine-tune the groups based on each individual preference, fitness level, and personal interest. So we typically fly in 4 to 5 groups and hiking up to 9 smaller groups. So some groups will hike in one area all day, while others take a few flights along the way and get to see more different places as well. So regardless of how fit you are or how much ground you cover, at the end of the day, you always come back feeling really refreshed.
Yeah, refreshed you come and more refreshed you leave. I personally love watching the transformation of our guests throughout the trip. You know, the aura of the supernatural mountain environment has great impact. You know, it disconnects you from the worldly burdens and it reconnects you with what really matters and charges your inner batteries. It's rejuvenating, you know. And we have a variety of programs that literally offer anything, whether you are 5 years or 90 years old. You know, if you want to meander through meadows or wildflowers, no problem, you know. Sitting and soaking in the colors of a glacier-fed lake, absolutely. You know, or if you want to get your adrenaline going and challenge yourself on the Via Ferratas and zip lines, you know, definitely.
Thanks, Rocco. Now, before I say goodbye, I would like to bring Brody back on to answer one more question. Brody, can you please walk everyone through what a typical day might look like up at the lodge?
Sure, Mercedes, I'd be happy to do that. So I would like to say firstly that, excuse me, life at the lodge is basically lived by the bell. So if you hear a bell ring, we're either eating or we're going hiking. So the first bell of the day is a wake-up bell, and that would lead you to dynamic warm-up class. So our massage therapists will guide you through a series of movements to get you limber and ready for the day. But if your idea of stretching is hanging out in bed, there's a second bell, and that signals the start of breakfast up in the dining room. During breakfast, one of the guides will address the room and talk a little bit about the weather, where we plan to hike for the day, and also to let you know where the group postings are on the lists throughout the lodge. The guides will also remind you of what things to pack for outerwear based on the weather for the day. The first group departs the lodge around 9 a.m., and it's about 5 or 10 minutes between groups after that. But before you leave the lodge, there's a buffet-style lunch set up so you can pack your bag lunch for your day out in the field. Typically, we'll hike and wander in awe for the morning before finding a remote and comfortable spot to have lunch. And we do always offer at least one opportunity to head back to the lodge, usually around lunchtime. So if you're more inclined to relax at the lodge, we can whisk you back to take advantage of the many amenities at the facility. Now, by late afternoon, the rest of us will fly back to the remote lodge, and you soak in another incredible view on that beautiful heli flight at the end of the day. It's always a welcome finish. And upon returning, we enjoy après adventure refreshments, or we can soak in the hot tub or have a relaxing massage. And during the evening, we drop stories of incredible adventures in the mountains as we enjoy a wonderful meal with new friends and the staff all at the tables together. Take one last soak in the tub, gather around the campfire, or capture photos of the stars and have a drink at the bar. Really, the choice is yours. Okay, well, now it's time to turn the tables over to you guys, the viewers, and we're going to ask that skill testing question for today's huddle. So get your fingers ready and your ears perked up. Name all 3 of our summer adventures destinations. Again, name all 3 of our summer adventures destinations and a chance to win that beautiful Adam LT jacket. So get on the live chat, throw in your answers, and while we're waiting for your responses, we're going to bring Rocco and Eric back on the screen, and we're going to run through our rapid fire questions.
Perfect. Here we go. So, Eric, what is your favorite CMH lodge?
Yeah, that's a great question. Obviously, because I built it, the Adamants is sort of my favorite lodge, but we don't operate there in the summer right now. So my favorite summer lodge is the Bobby Burns with all the Via Ferratas, and I absolutely love it there.
Good pick. Good pick. And for you, Rocco, what's your favorite CMH lodge?
Well, that's an unfair question if there ever is one, as each of our destinations has their individual personality and plenty of iconic highlights, you know. But one of my very favorites surely is the Caribous, you know, the faraway feeling of this private and almost forgotten mountain range with little to no public access is just highly appealing, you know, like you feel no human energy and you're out there and you get absorbed in the very soul of nature itself.
Okay, awesome. And Eric, what is your favorite CMH meal?
Well, we have lots of great gourmet food, so I will actually pick an apres, and that would be the chicken wings.
Okay, and aren't you also a chicken farmer, Eric?
Well, maybe it has to do with that, but it's not my chickens at the farm that we eat at the lodge.
And for you, Rocco, what's your favorite meal?
Well, my favorite meal is the Canadian schnitzel, as appetizer, a AAA steak, and then as a main course, a prime rib.
Sounds perfect. And Eric, what is your favorite hike at CMH?
Favorite hike at CMH, I would say, is the Thunderwater Lakes in the Bugaboos.
Great choice. And for you, Rocco?
Well, our tenure is also so huge, and so many hikes are still virgin. So they are just begging to explore, and that's always thrilling and super special, But overall, hiking around and near the Silma Glacier and Canyon, it's extraordinary, impressive, majestic show of nature and the beauty of it. Like, that is an absolute highlight.
Awesome. And for our final rapid fire question, which I know you guys won't be able to answer in rapid fashion, and that's okay. Eric, what does CMH mean to you?
Yeah, that won't be a rapid fire answer. Well, as we say in our mission, we guide you through life-changing mountain experiences. This is certainly true for myself many times over. From the opportunity to come here to guide in a new country, to building the elements and overseeing now all the guiding operation, all of it is just a huge privilege, the way I see it. So experiencing this transformative and restorative power of these mountains is, for myself, is very special. But more importantly, seeing the resulting passion and the satisfaction in so many guests and staff, that's what it's really all about. CMH is also one big family, and I'm glad to be part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And same question for you, Rocco. What does CMH mean for you?
It's togetherness, family. Like, we and our guests are a tribal community, and we face and solve challenges along the way together in a very respectful way as a harmonic group, and there is no hierarchy, and that's what impresses me most. Everybody is equal, something that doesn't exist anymore on the planet, and that concept by itself, that's what I absolutely love, And the reason for that is the founding spirit. When Hans Moser came in the beginning, he came from nothing, and he started to work his way up, and when he built the first lodge, the guests had to convince him to get a little bit comfort into the lodges, and actually, instead of an outhouse, have an inside toilet. Like, Hans was a purist by heart, and for him, it's like the simple and the most important things in life. They are very monumental, and he always led this example. He inspired each of us to be the hardest worker of all. And his end goal always was sustainability, and his the founding spirit, the recipe, is like the guest is king, like without guests we are nothing. We cannot go out hiking in that way. We cannot share these mountains with you guys, And then passion. You have to have passion for people, you have to have passion for the land, and you have to have passion for the animals out there. And if you don't feel and own these values, then CMH is not a job for you to work, Other things are respect and trust to one another. That's very, very big. And Hans taught us basically to be very aware of our clients and watch them. And if anybody wanders around in search for something, like, you go right there to that person, you ask the person if they need something, you help out, whether it's a pillow or whatever it is. Like, you go and get it yourself and give it to the person, and you don't look for somebody else to do it. So, like, that is really the biggest thing. So everybody helps out everywhere and anywhere. That is our DNA, and that's the very heart and soul of being a CMHer.
Well, I think you've both captured the CMH spirit perfectly. Thanks so much for those answers, Eric and Rocco, and for joining us on today's Heli Huddle. Now it's time to pass things back over to Brody for the giveaway. Brody.
Awesome. Thanks, Allie. Well, we've reviewed the responses to the skill testing question, which was name all 3 of our summer adventures destinations at CMH. And the correct answers are, in any order, Bobby Burns, Bugaboos, and Caribous. And a little drum roll here. It is my pleasure to announce the winner is Alan Eggle. Alan, congratulations. You've just won yourself a new jacket. Great to see you on here today. We'll connect with you shortly and get your shipping address. Right on. So Allie, Mercedes, and I are going to take a couple of minutes to answer some questions that have come up recently.
Sounds good. The first question is actually for you, Brody. I'm a bit nervous of heights and feeling exposed on an open ridge. Will I be able to go on a summer adventures trip and feel comfortable?
That's a great question. So we get a variety of different skill sets and comfort levels out in the mountains. So we also have a variety of different places where we can take you hiking. So with that in mind, we have nice open meadows and mellow, gentle terrain to take people that aren't interested in those ridge walks. So there's definitely something for everyone.
Great. That is great to know. And the next question is for you, Mercedes. I've never been to this part of Canada before and want to explore the area before my trip. Can CMH help me with that?
Thanks, Allie. And great question. We definitely can. Our team of local vacation planners are on hand to help you spend more time playing in the mountains than planning for them. Our partnerships with local hotels and locations like Banff, Jasper, Lake Louise, and Golden allow us to create custom itineraries around your desired trip length, should you wish to extend your stay in the area. With our local expertise and knowledge, we love giving insider tips on what to do when you get here. So give our team a call and we're definitely happy to chat.
Great. And Mercedes, what's your favorite place to visit before heading to a CMH destination?
Well, Allie, I'm going to be a little bit biased because I've been very lucky to call Banff home for the last 8 years. And one night before your heli summer adventure just isn't enough. So I recommend staying here for a few more days.
Noted. Sounds good. Well, over to you, Brody.
Okay, well, there's a couple of questions in the chat bar. Looks like there's one from Mark. He said, what gear is needed, usually provided by the lodge? He's coming in August for a lodge-to-lodge trip. So, Mark, we do have rain gear, so rain jackets, rain pants. We've got backpacks. We have hiking boots. We have hiking poles for you. And there's also a variety of great outerwear options in the store inside the lodge if something catches your eye in there. So really all you need to bring are some nice base layers and athletic outerwears to take with you out on the trail, and we can get the rest of it suited up for you. I've got another question here. It says, what altitude are you hiking at? So the lodges are all sitting somewhere between 1,000 meters to 1,500 meters in elevation. So if we're talking in feeders, that's somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 feet. And the ridge tops and some of the higher places we hike are up to 3,000 meters, or that conversion for you is roughly around 10,000 feet. So anywhere in those elevation bands are where we get out hiking. Another question that comes out, will we see bears? Now, that's an excellent question. I have seen lots of bears in the past, given the fact that we are in a real wilderness environment. However, wildlife sightings aren't guaranteed, but there is lots of flora and fauna around that we can help to interpret for you. So all of our guides are members of the Association of Canadian Mountain Guides, but we're also members of the Interpretive Guides Association, which helps us to identify those cool plants and flowers. Well, that just about wraps up today's huddle. But before we say goodbye, I want to touch on the topics of our next huddle coming up on February 25th. We're going to have 2 new panelists with us. Matt, he's the assistant area manager at our Kootenay operation, and Craig, our area manager at our Adamance operation. And they're going to describe our snow safety program and all the things that go into running a fun and safe ski program at CMH. All right, well, let's bring everybody back on the screen here to say goodbye. So for all of us keeping it classy here in Denham, up in the Great White North, cheers, eh? And thanks for joining us on another fun, fact-filled episode of CMH Virtual Heli Huddles. Thanks, you guys.
See you all.